It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 329. Doug Warren, Detroit Lions and NFL historian. He is the sports director for the Spotlight Radio Network, and he has been producer of The Drive with Jack from day one back in 2013. Is this as good a day of football, a good weekend as you have during the season? Seems like you get 4 good games more often than not.
Yeah, unless you're the Houston Texans, it's been a pretty good day. It hasn't been a good day for them, but that happens in the playoffs, and an epic collapse by them today, and we'll see what Kansas City does next week.
What a crazy day. Crazy weekend, really.
Yeah.
It was 24-0. I
Yeah,
don't think anybody was thinking 41 straight, and then they'll try to come back from that.
Yeah, took a nap, woke up. What?
Thought you were watching a different game, right?
Right, like, what happened here? Thank God for DVR.
Rico Beard joins us, and he is a longtime Detroit radio and TV personality, Specs Howard broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and he is the host of the Spartan Beat from noon to 1 p.m. weekdays on the Spotlight Radio Network. We've got to talk a lot of college basketball, and Michigan State forgot to show up today at West Lafayette.
Yeah, anybody who listened to the show knows I said this was their first Big Ten loss. They haven't won at Purdue in
2014.
long time.
Yeah.
Gary Harris on the team, just to put things in perspective. Keith Appling was your point guard.
Yeah.
There you have it. Yeah, it's been a while. They just think they can't go to Purdue and win. It's mental there. I don't know, but they just can't.
There aren't many Big Ten teams that can go on the road this year and win. We'll talk more about that. A couple from the state of Michigan went on the road today and got L's. Darian Harris joins us, 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain, 2015 Big Ten champions, aspiring broadcaster. He's a brand ambassador for Big B Coffee and assistant football coach at Walled Lake Western, and we've got the national championship game tomorrow night. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about all the football this weekend, but especially the national title game. I think we have the 2 future number 1 picks in the next 2 years' drafts at quarterback. So it should be an exciting one. I'm hoping for a competitive game. Haven't gotten a lot of those. We've gotten exciting games over the past couple of days in the NFL playoffs. I'm not sure if they've all been competitive. So I'm hoping for a competitive national title game.
The 2 best teams in the country playing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that Ohio State's got an argument for maybe being one of the top 2 teams, but they didn't win the ball game. So, got to say it. These are the 2 best teams.
Had plenty of chances.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's see if Clemson can get it done back-to-back years, but looking forward to that. And then no more college football until late summer. We will be back, and we're going to start with Michigan State Purdue and where the Spartans stand in this Big Ten race. Coming up, it's our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet here on Press Pass.
Greasy pizza boxes.
Ugh, glass bottles not emptied.
Yogurt containers with, ew!
Michigan needs to recycle better, and that change starts with you. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
I'm Tara from the Holt & Diamonddale Insurance Agency. We specialize in knowing your business and office needs. From cyber liability to professional liability, we have you covered. For an insurance checkup, call your hometown team today.
Great deals going on now during the 19 model clearance sale at Grand Ledge Ford. You can check us out online at grandledgeford.com. 2019 Ford Escape courtesy vehicle. Save $7,600. We've got 5 or 6 in stock. Great deals going on now on 2019 F-150s. Brand new, save $17,600. 30 in stock. Again, check us out online at grandledgeford.com. Always working hard to earn your business.
You're in control of your finances with the MSU FCU mobile app. If a transaction occurs in a location different than where your mobile device is, the transaction will be declined. Download the MSU FCU mobile app today.
Greasy pizza boxes.
Ugh, glass bottles not emptied.
Yogurt containers with, ew!
Michigan needs to recycle better, and that change starts with you. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
Profit over patience is a different kind of battlefield.
The Resident, all new Tuesday on Fox.
Team spirit. Face paint. more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for a Going Green segment brought to you by Graf Chevrolet and Graf Nissan. 105 years in the automobile business, they'll take great care of you, as they have in all 7 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
Kind of the game started with a turnover by us, and my smartest guy found a three-point shooter that's shooting 10% in the league in Wheeler, and it's kind of 19-4 lead, and then when we got it down to 12 or 13 or 11, whatever, 11 at one time when Markey took the 3, and I think it was 12 when we got the charge. I mean, those are just inexperienced plays by guys that aren't experienced enough to understand that when you get a comeback, it's not the time to shoot things or do things that the percentages aren't high enough.
Michigan State head basketball coach Tom Izzo, and he didn't do a lot of yelling today. A lot of people were saying, how come he's more fired up? And he was just kind of trying to take it all in and figure out what was going on. Looked like an entirely different team from the one we've seen. Rico Beard, I call it the transitive triangle. You had Michigan State beating Illinois by 20, the Fighting Illini beating Purdue by 26, and the Boilermakers beating the Spartans by 29. That's all in a span of 10 days. What happened to the team that beat Illinois, Michigan, and Minnesota by a combined 54 points?
Jack, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. It was 4 games in 10 days. That was the last one. It was going to Mackey Arena, a place where Michigan State has not done well in like the last 6 years. They have lost games. You know, one was an overtime game, but most of them, they were, like last year, they scored 19 points at the first half. They don't do well. They can't shoot well there. Izzo's not upset because when you get beat that bad, you go through all 5 stages of grief before the game is over. It's done. You already, it wasn't close. An overtime game, you can nitpick. This game, they got outplayed, out-hustled. They couldn't hit a shot. And then you got Purdue, the one guy who made 1 3-pointer all year, and he's out there looking like Reggie Miller. So for MSU, you take it looks bad, 29 points, but it's one game. You're still at the top of the Big Ten.
Darian, Rocket Watts got off the bus today, but no one else did. Why have the Spartans not won in West Lafayette in 6 years?
Yeah, I think it's just a mental thing, kind of like Rigo touched on, and that happens in sports. I think it goes both sides. I think for one, Michigan State's going to press, hard and try to get that type of W, that type of win to get over the hump. But I also think Purdue has a certain type of confidence playing specifically against Michigan State in Mackey Arena. And again, that happens in sports. We saw it with Michigan State and Northwestern with football over the past few years until this season. We see it with Purdue and Ohio State in football as well. Some teams just match up better with others, and it just ends up being a mental block.
These teams have now played 125 times over 111 years, and this was the biggest margin either team has had, and no one saw that coming. Some people thought Purdue could win or would win. Michigan State was a 4.5-point favorite in Vegas, but I don't think anyone thought it would be what it is.
No, it's not. But again, it's one game. It looks kind of bad because it's almost a 30-point loss, but still alone at the top of the Big Ten.
They got 5 days now before their next game, so they get some time to rest. It's not an excuse, but 4 games in 10 days, it looks like it wore them down.
Doug, the meltdown in Mackey was MSU's first loss since December 3rd and snapped an 8-game winning streak. The Spartans are still atop the Big Ten, and they have as many conference wins as any team in the country except San Diego State. How does Tom Izzo's team bury their frustration and take it out on red-hot Wisconsin Friday night at Breslin?
Well, I mean, you don't even really look at the game tape. There's nothing to learn from it.
That's what Brad Underwood said after they played Michigan State. So, get rid of that tape.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to see it because they won 8 straight. They look like a tired team today. Four games in 10 days. That'll do it to you. 18 turnovers. Cassius Winston, the only starter to score in double figures, and he had 9 turnovers to go with his 10 points. He wasn't like he normally is. They only had 7 assists as a team because they shot so poorly. That, to me, that's just a mark of a team playing a team that matches up well with them and then just being out of gas going into the arena today. And that's the kind of result you get.
Michigan State close to 2.5 to 1, a little more than that in assist to turnover ratio today, completely flipping that. Rico, that's not Michigan State basketball.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't early. It was like 19-4. You're just watching this thing like, okay, they're going to kick it in. They're going to kick it in. And then it just reached the point, yeah, this isn't their day. They're not. I think they closed it. They got to maybe, 11 or 12 points in the second half.
And had a couple shots to get to 8.
If you hit that three-pointer, I thought it would have been a different game. But they, 2 3-pointers made. They're not a great three-pointing shooting team. But, yeah, you can't play, turn the ball over, not hit threes. It's 29-point loss.
Darian, it seemed like Purdue got every loose ball, including 3 times, off missed free throws, which should never happen. Guy misses 2 free throws, and then you stand there, and they get the ball back, and they get another possession. That's not the way to win. All right, when we get back, we're going to take a look at college basketball in the Big Ten and around the country. University of Michigan at Minnesota today. We'll take a look at the Big Ten standings. A big game yesterday with Baylor over Kansas coming up next.
It's cold outside. The deals inside are really heating up during Graf's Winterfest at every Graf dealership.
Get double the value of your trade, up to $5,000, and you can drive off in a new 2020 Chevy Blazer for just $162 a month, or a new 2020 Chevy Trax for just $78 a month.
See why the coldest time of the year is the hottest time to buy your new car, truck, or SUV. During the Graf Winterfest at a Graf dealership near you. I'm going inside. It's cold out there.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Download the Fox 47 News app, available for iOS and Android.
At the David Chapman Agency, it's our knowledge and expertise that make insuring home, auto, and farm easy for you. Experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about you with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com.
Hike! Get in the savings zone at Capital Honda with game-winning offers on the new 2019 Honda Civic LX, $189 a month, or new 2019 Honda CR-V EX all-wheel drive, $269 a month. You should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
Fox 47 is putting our money where it helps most back into our community with our 3-degree guarantee. Here's our GM Gary Baxter to tell you how it works.
Every time we get the forecast right, Fox 47 writes a check to a local charity. Get it wrong, we double it. Plus, we partner with Trips Collision Center for some exciting news.
The team at Trips is proud to be a part of the 3-degree guarantee. So we're matching each donation dollar for dollar to help local nonprofits keep Mid-Michigan strong.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to Northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
They're going to force Clemson to do something. Sims scores. Black. Brooks Misses. They send it back out to Robinson. He shoots a three. He misses. History made. 0 for 59. No more. Tigers on the road. They win it 79-76.
I think that's a lot of excitement for a January game with a team that's not going to make the NCAA tournament. Clemson had been going to Chapel Hill, North Carolina since 1926 and had never won. That's 94 years, ladies and gentlemen. Clemson, more than just a football school this weekend. And to have a victory like that, congratulations to Coach Brad Brownell and Tigers moment. You got to enjoy it while they can, I guess, Rico. Against a North Carolina team that might be the worst, as Darian said in the break, might not make the NCAA tournament. Probably won't.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the opposite end of history. I think like Serena Williams said in that one commercial, you don't want to be on the opposite end. When the underdog wins, you don't want to be that team.
Rico, Michigan faded down the stretch today, an 8-point loss in Minneapolis, and that's about 70 hours after it escaped in double overtime against Purdue Thursday. We know the value of home court in college basketball, but not like this. The Big Ten home teams 31-5. Why?
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do because you keep hearing that the home court matters. It's a little mental, and I think for the opposing team, when you go onto the visiting court, as soon as you get that first bad call, you automatically thinking the refs have it in for them. Yeah. You saw it in today's game. There were questionable calls, but players are having a hard time shaking it off and just saying, okay, we still can win this thing. You kind of see the body language kicks in, and it's almost expected now, like, well, if we lose, we're on the road. We're not going to get punished, where you got to be mentally tough to fight through that.
It's not like this in every other conference, Darian and Doug. It's not like this in pro football. We've seen a lot of road teams winning in the playoffs. Rico, would you take 4-6 as a road record in Big Ten games?
4-6, if you hold court at home.
Win all your home games.
You'll probably be tied for the Big Ten title. I think 5 is that magical cutoff point. But yeah, you would take 4-6. Jack, you're right. It's not like that. But I don't think that the Big Ten has that much difference amongst the teams. That's why they're knocking them off like that, because there are no, like, normally there's like 3 or 4 really good teams. Yeah. You don't have that. You really have, if you count Michigan State as at the top, 2 through 12, put the names in a hat and pull out the winner.
A lot of them are ranked, but they're not good enough. Darian, we have seen Wisconsin and Michigan State, the only 2 teams in the league that are above 500 in true road games. Michigan, Minnesota, 0-9. Why can't the Big Ten do what Baylor did yesterday at Kansas?
I think it speaks to a lot of what Rico said. I think it's a mental aspect and maybe a mental block for that road team, but I also want to focus on the home team a little bit. I think that when you look at Big Ten basketball, you may have top to bottom, year in and year out, perhaps maybe the best conference in America basketball-wise. Well, within this conference, you don't have a lot of one-and-dones. That means you have third-year and fourth-year guys who actually care about the court they're playing on. I think that's a lot of a difference. When you look at, SEC, if Kentucky, ACC would do, you get one and done. You don't have time to care about the home court you're playing on. By the time you're in your 3rd and 4th year, you're a senior, you care about that court you're playing on. You want to defend home court. It means something to you. I think that has a big thing to deal with it also.
Doug, so much parity. Maybe this is a reason the Big Ten hasn't won a national title since 2000.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of elite guards either on the All-American teams.
We'll be right back with more.
Welcome to the greatest competition ever assembled. The winner will go home with the official title of Lego Masters, $100,000, and a fancy Lego trophy.
It's going to blow people's minds. It's going to wow everyone.
Yippee-ki-yay, Lego Masters!
Fox is turning a global phenomenon into television's biggest competition.
I don't think so.
I asked for a nice, subtle way to let everybody know that we're at 1 hour. 1 hour left, everybody!
Oh my gosh.
The shark gobbles it up and becomes land shark.
Amazing.
Beautiful. We're gonna do this. Now build it.
No!
Oh my God. I feel like you don't understand Lego.
You're not gonna hit this, are you?
Can we take that again? No? Okay, well, it's all good.
Lego Masters, a new series being built February 5th on Fox.
I can't believe it's not just me anymore.
Almost Family, Wednesday on Fox.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Well, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first I just did basketball and I got hooked. Before long I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoy giving back to the game, working with kids, and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
I would expect the University of Pittsburgh, Penn State, Michigan to buckle up. Maybe everybody in this room doesn't understand that term, but if you write it, they will.
And I want you to play tough. I want you to play mean. I want you to play with strength. I want you to play as tough as you can. And if you're tough, and you do it within the rules, when you come in this locker room, I'll be proud of you. And that's all I can ask from you.
George Perlis dying Tuesday, and Rico, no one has had the resume that George Perlis had at Michigan State as a player under Duffy Doherty, assistant coach under Duffy. Came back as the head coach after the 4 Super Bowls, Doug, with the Steelers. 12 years as head coach, athletic director, underrated athletic director. Even became a trustee after a lot of controversy on his way out. How will George Perlis be remembered?
That's an interesting question, Jack. I think it depends on your age and what you remember him for. I mean, do you remember when he was the coach? Because if it was, you remember the Rose Bowl year. And you remember him, you know, I guess the beginning of what we call trestle ball now. Run, 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 run. Oh, we're down by 20. Throw it to that number 1 rising kid. Yeah. He's pretty good, too. I think for most people, they'll probably remember him more as the coach, the athletic director. You know, him and DiBiagio, they had their differences. But yeah,
Putting it mildly.
Putting it mildly. But yeah, I can't go on and on. That would be the whole show, folks. But I think more people, will remember him more as the MSU football coach.
Darian, he was beloved by players. And Doug, the other coaches in the department loved him because he went to their games. He found ways to get them money that previous athletic directors didn't want anything to do with.
Yeah.
He empowered them, but then he wasn't around long enough to really see his vision come to pass. I want to talk about a Spartan who will not be back next year, Darian. We knew Josiah Scott would be gone, but Cody White, Wall Lake Western product, has decided that he's leaving, and there you see his post, his Twitter thank you to the Michigan State community. What do you think about Cody White, his legacy, and his chance to make it in the National Football League? You know how difficult that is.
Yeah, it is obviously very difficult, but, you know, he's a guy that came in pretty much ready to play as a freshman and made an impact as a freshman, made a strong impact at receiver for 3 years. And you know, it used to always hear you're either a first-round pick or maybe a second-round pick, or else you come back to school. I mean, that's Alabama's philosophy. You know, that's how they grade. Your first round, second round, back to school. Yeah. We're seeing that across college football. That landscape is changing. Now it's if you have a shot at being drafted, guys are leaving. They're leaving early, especially depending on where you're at and what your situation is with the school you're at. So it kind of remains to be seen what happens. I don't think he's a surefire necessarily, top 3-round draft pick. We'll see. But again, from my experience, if you can find a way to get drafted, you're pretty much set at least for that first year, and then kind of what you do after that is kind of up to you.
Yeah, a lot of people saying bet on yourself. That's a new term.
Bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of players come out and they think they're going to be drafted.
Right.
Someone says, hey, you will be drafted, and then they're not drafted, and then they have to go the free agent route. You know how difficult that is.
Yeah, absolutely. It becomes even more difficult. I'm somebody that's lived that firsthand. I spoke to head coaches.
But you didn't leave eligibility on the table.
But I didn't leave eligibility on the table.
And got a championship and a playoff experience.
Exactly. So it depends on the player. It depends on the situation. For Cody White, I think he believes he'll test well and have a shot.
Doug, switching to hockey, Danton Cole's surprising program, 3 goals Friday night in the first 18 minutes and 28 seconds, a 4-1 win over Minnesota. Scored just once in the next 101 minutes and 32 seconds and stayed in a second-place tie, but just 2 points back of Penn State. Is it safe to say there's a hockey buzz in East Lansing we haven't seen since Ron Mason, and that includes the 2007 national title?
Yeah, I would say so because for a couple of reasons. I think the football team being down has brought a little bit more attention to the hockey program. People are looking for something that have a little bit of success to get interested in. They're recruiting better now than they did, I think, aside from the Mason glory years.
Yeah.
The 2007 championship wasn't expected, kind of came out of nowhere. It was a flash in the pan, as it turned out. Rick Comley didn't capitalize on that recruiting-wise and stuff. The experiment with Tom Monastis as head coach failed. So now they're going back to the future, bringing Danton Cole in, a guy who saw that success as a player with Mason, a lot of success in USA hockey, and can recruit too, as we're seeing early returns on that. So I think there is a buzz that hasn't been around in a long time, and it's justified.
I was surprised by the crowd when I walked in Friday night. Game started at 6. Got there after the drive with Jack, and just taking a 3-0 lead, but the place was pretty full. Almost every seat was filled. And I'm wondering, there's only so much discretionary income, disposable money to spend. If some people say, I'm not going to go watch this football team or this program costs too much, I'm going to go see hockey games.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I mean, it's not a major part probably, but I think people want to see a winner and something that's exciting and new, and hockey is that way again.
We will be right back, tracking a trophy. We're going to talk about the college football playoff, the championship game tomorrow night coming up.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
It's cold outside. The deals inside are really heating up during Graf's Winterfest at every Graf dealership.
Get double the value of your trade, up to $5,000, and you can drive off in a new 2020 Chevy Equinox or a 2020 Silverado Custom Crew Cab for under $180 per month or less.
See why the coldest time of the year is the hottest time to buy your new car, truck, or SUV.
During the Graf Winterfest at a Graf dealership near you. I'm going inside. It's cold out there.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
I'm like a truth machine.
Weekdays starting at 4 on Fox 47. Oh, hell yeah.
You can't see me!
She's out, Doc.
Hi.
S-U-O-N. Submission.
This is great. This is awesome. And it's boom drop time for Kofi. RKO out of nowhere. All hail the queen. What is this maniac doing? The dead man has risen. Oh no!
What is that smell?
If you smell what the Rock is cooking. Champion! We got a new champion!
I think it's a combination of senior leadership, a combination of being prepared. Our coaches, we led by Joe. Joe's a very serious guy. We've got some leaders on defense that have really come along. Rashard Lawrence, we talked about this in his living room during recruiting. Those guys were very, very focused on getting here, and you got to give them the credit.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously what he's done speaks for itself, and anyone that's watched him knows he's a special player and just a great player. So I think people get a little too caught up in just me versus him. It's us versus them as far as a team. So it's going to be the best team's going to win the game, and I mean, he's a great player, and obviously we're both going to impact the game. But at the end of the day, the best team's going to win.
LSU coach Ed Orgeron and Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence, one with a unique voice, the other with a very different look for a quarterback. Darian, you played in the college football playoff, one of just 11 programs to do that. What do you remember most from 5 years ago?
Well, it was an exciting time, obviously. It was a culmination of a lot of the hard work that really came from years past, building up to that. And it almost didn't seem real that week, because we're on top of the world, we're on top of the sporting world. We're doing live Sports Center. All of a sudden I'm standing with Tom Rinaldi doing a live take. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it was one of the best experiences of my life in sports. It's what you work for, it's what you strive for, and to have an opportunity to do that was pretty special.
What will we remember most from LSU Clemson, the Battle of the Tigers tomorrow night?
I think you're going to remember the battle of the quarterbacks, Joe Burrow versus Trevor Lawrence. Joe Burrow is going to go number one in the draft this year. Trevor Lawrence will be number one in the draft next year. Trevor Lawrence will have a shot at the Heisman next year. I think it's something he might go for. So I definitely think it's going to be the battle of the quarterbacks and who comes out on top there.
Doug Warren, taking a look at the schedules of both teams, what would be the better story? The complete trust and makeover that Ed Orgeron had at LSU in a perfect season, or the chance for Dabo Swinney to have back-to-back perfect seasons, 30-0?
Well, I think they're both great stories for different reasons. LSU beat 5 top 10 teams on the way to the title game, and obviously the Ed Orgeron story is a great one, the revamping of the offense, the emergence of Joe Burrow, but let's not forget what Clemson's done. They're going for their 30th straight victory tomorrow. They're the defending champions. They have a guy who, in Trevor Lawrence, if he was eligible to be in the draft this year, he'd probably get picked in some GM's minds over Joe Burrow even. This is an incredible football team and an incredible program. And yeah, maybe they don't have the toughest schedule as LSU does. But if they win tomorrow, what are people going to say? You're going to remember a two-time champion who beat 2 SEC teams and did it in pretty stellar fashion, because it will not be an easy game if they win tomorrow. This is going to be a close game, whoever wins, I think.
And if you beat Ohio State and LSU, you've earned it. That's
absolutely
a pretty tough path to the title. Darian, when you think about these teams and what they have done, both worthy of being champions?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, like Doug said, for different reasons. LSU for the revamp of that program under Ed Orgeron, and Clemson, they're defending champs for a reason. And I know everybody kind of laughed, sort of, and said, "Oh, Dabo, you're this disrespect card," but it was kind of true a little bit based on their scheduling.
Rico, how many coaches would have the, let's say, courage to say, somebody out here is going to fix this offense. It's not going to be me. We're going to bring in a 29-year-old guy, and he's going to revamp everything, and we're going to roll with that?
Not too many, Jack, and that's why LSU is playing in the national title, because most coaches would say, what's this 29-year-old know? I don't know. I've forgotten more about football than this young guy. He accepted that, and he realized, you know what? Game's evolving. He heard the guy out, and it worked.
Good enough for the New Orleans Saints, probably good enough for him, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you see coaches like that, and the ones who really embrace the change, those are the ones that keep the program moving.
Taking a look at the history of the college football playoff, and we have had 5 games thus far, number 6 tomorrow. Clemson has played 6 games in the playoff. LSU just 1. Who wins this game tomorrow night?
Clemson has everything going for it. The fact that they have the experience of being there, but it's just something about Burrow. He's just having that magical season where he just can't do anything wrong. Like Darian said earlier, I think this is going to be this is a game. Normally, it's about defense and which defense can stop. This was I think it's going to feel more like a Big 12 game.
You're down 4 points. 1 minute to go. No timeouts. Do you want Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence leading your team?
I'm going to take Burrow. Like I said, he's on the roll. He won the Heisman. This guy is just hot right now.
I take Lawrence.
Lawrence?
I do.
College football right now, I'm taking Burrow.
I'll take Lawrence 2-2. All right, we're going to play overtime. We will be back in just a couple of minutes. We're going to have our Take It to the Bank segment, and we're going to start talking about the NFL playoffs, especially the AFC. What a couple of strange games. Yesterday, you got a 6th seed playing for a shot at the Super Bowl, and today, one of the most bizarre games you will ever see with Kansas City and Houston. We'll be right back to talk about that. Take It to the Bank with Dart Bank up next.
Can I help you with something?
I'm your driver, Deputy Bishop. I'm also your personal security detail.
I don't need a bodyguard.
I come with the stars, Sheriff. Bishop has decided that the best way to do the most amount of good is through the system. Or this new sheriff, Bill Hollister, he really wants to do the right thing.
Thought we were all on the same team.
Well, you got no idea what you're walking into here. Bill doesn't speak bureaucracy. Fortunately, Bishop does. 10th floor is like the yard in Chino. You're talking to one dude, his buddy comes up behind you with a shank, turns your liver into pate. Bishop can tell that Bill cares. And that's not something Bishop's ever seen from a sheriff. You could actually make a difference. Bishop has this charming sass. Not really physically intimidated by anyone either. If you rabbit on me again, I will put a bullet in you.
You promise?
It's really important for Bishop to have Bill and for Bill to have Bishop.
All right, give me the keys.
You're not driving. It's not a date.
Deputy, all new this Thursday on Fox.
An all-new Last Man Standing. Bingo. This Thursday on Fox.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
Tannehill tosses, end zone. Oh! Jonnu Smith, touchdown! About as good a start as you could have for Tennessee. Tannehill looks for the home run ball. Separation! Khalif Raymond hauls it in. Touchdown, Titans. Direct snap. Henry, jump pass. Oh, trickery. Corey Davis, touchdown, Tennessee.
Makes perfect sense. You've got one of the top picks in the draft. You take Marcus Mariota. You know a little bit about him. And you wind up getting where you're going with Ryan Tannehill. Go figure. Doug, how does a 6th seed in the AFC playoffs beat the mighty New England Patriots, once mighty Patriots, and then the Baltimore Ravens, the best team in football through the regular season? How's that happen?
Well, the NFL's in its 100th year, and more often than not, it comes down to blocking and tackling and dominating in the trenches, and that's what Tennessee's done for 2 straight weeks. 3 straight weeks if you count the final game of the regular season.
So nothing's changed in the NFL?
Not much. I mean, there's things that have changed, but when it gets down to it, I mean, if you can run the ball and dominate on the line of scrimmage, which they've done, and shut down the opposing team, which they've done. They've got developing a pass rush with Harold Landry and other guys who were cast-offs from the Lions. We've seen that movie before. I mean, they're basically winning the way a lot of teams have won over the last 100 years. You run the ball, you stop the run, you play defense, you're going to win, whether you're on the road or at home. And they're the hottest team in the league right now.
Can they run the ball effectively in Kansas City, keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes, and upset the Chiefs?
If they can't, they'll lose. But I don't see any reason why they won't be able to do that with what they've done the last 2 weeks. I would be scared to have to play this football team right now. The way that they're running the football and the way Derrick Henry is just running downhill, over people, around people, past people. And Ryan Tannehill's playing within himself. He's the perfect quarterback for the system because everything that he does is predicated on play action passes, and he's enough of an athlete that he can make a run now and then too and keep the chains moving. They are a very, very dangerous team. And Kansas City, as good as they look today, they've got to be able to stop them somehow, or you could have Tennessee, I think, having 35 minutes or more time of possession and just dominating the clock and shortening the game that way and coming out with a win.
How'd you like that jump pass, Darian?
Yeah.
Throw that?
I mean, it was a perfect play call. It's perfect.
Rico, just when we think we have seen it all, we get the Houston Texans 24-0 first quarter lead in Arrowhead. The people are like, no, not this. And then Kansas City gets going, score 4 times, 4 touchdown passes in the second quarter, 2 more early in the third quarter, 41 unanswered points. Have you ever seen a pro game with wilder swings than that?
No, because, before you sat down and the popcorn got cold, there was, they're going down there, they're scoring. Kansas City at home was just looking just totally out of sort. You had a block punt, you had a block punt, you had a guy drop a punt.
Tyreek Hill drops a return.
Right, Tyreek Hill, they put him back there so he would catch it, and then the next thing you know, it's 24-0, and I thought the Titans, it's going to sound silly, they should have went for the kill shot on that 4th down, go for it, go up 28-0. They kicked the field goal instead. Rest was history.
Texans went for a fake.
Yeah, they doubled down on the mistake. The mistake to kick the field goal, and then they kind of doubled down the next time with the fake punt, and everything just snowballed after that.
Do you think Bill O'Brien realized if we give them the ball, we can't stop them? We have to keep scoring almost every possession.
I would have went for it. That would have been me. I would have gone.
So who rules the AFC next weekend? You like Tennessee's chances against Kansas City?
I would say no, but every time I say no, they keep winning. But if I had to put money on it, I'd put money on Kansas City in Kansas City.
Darian, it was the highest scoring first half in an NFL playoff game, 1920, right, Doug, when the NFL's first year? So you're going back 100 seasons. As a lifelong linebacker, how would you stop Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson?
A lot of prayer. I mean, as a linebacker, there's really nothing you can do, especially against Patrick Mahomes. Now, Deshaun Watson, because of his offensive line, you can put pressure on him. I mean, he was running for his life all day. He's been running for his life his whole career. With Pat Mahomes, I mean, his O-line is excellent, and he has such pocket presence that as a linebacker, there's nothing you could do. It kind of felt like when we played Baylor. I mean, as linebackers, we had no effect on the game. You may as well have not put us out there. I mean, that's that new age type of football. But again, to Doug's point, if you can run the ball and win in the trenches, which nobody knows how to play against anymore, you're going to have success, and that's what the Titans are able to do.
Doug, I was talking to an NFL guy this weekend. He says, as great as Brady was, as great as Breeze was, or is, it's tougher to play against Mahomes or Watson, who can run. Both those guys, big plays with their feet today, made things happen almost impossible to stop. When we get back, we'll talk about Rico's San Francisco 49ers and the NFC playoff picture up next.
Fox 47 is putting our money where it helps most back into our community with our 3-degree guarantee.
And the team from Trips Collision Center says yes to helping local nonprofits. So we'll be matching every Fox 47 donation dollar for dollar.
On behalf of the Scripps Howard Foundation, we're proud to present $1,150 to the League of Enchantment.
The League is founded on doing hospital visits for kids in trauma, in cancer, leukemia, in the worst moments of a kid's life. The numbers to me start out by meaning hospital visits. Hospital visit roughly costs us $250 on average. So when you've got a number that's over 1,000, that's 4 hospital visits right away. That means we're seeing, 500-600 kids. That's a lot of happiness we can spread to those kids that are dealing with horrible childhood diseases, leukemia, cancer, DIPG, all of that stuff.
The 3-degree guarantee, only on Fox 47 News.
Download the Fox 47 Storm Shield app and stay in touch everywhere you go.
It's cold outside. The deals inside are really heating up during Graf's Winterfest at every Graf dealership.
Get double the value of your trade up to $5,000, and you can drive off in a new 2020 Chevy Blazer for just $162 a month, or a new 2020 Chevy Trax for just $78 a month.
See why the coldest time of the year is the hottest time to buy your new car, truck, or SUV during the Graf Winterfest at a Graf dealership near you. I'm going inside. It's cold out there.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Champions.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. Stop and see Chuck, Delita, and their terrific staff on Trowbridge, or find Woody's favorites at Tom's Foods, Horrocks, and all across MSU's campus.
The fake. In the pass, caught. Coleman is the back. Juszczyk is the fullback. Give it to Coleman, and he goes for the touchdown. From the 2, the ground again. Touchdown. 3rd and 7. Pressure on Cousins. Sacked at the 40-yard line.
There you see San Francisco, a very convincing win over Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. Doug, we couldn't get 2 6 seeds into the conference championship games, but San Francisco certainly looked like a Super Bowl team to me, outplaying Minnesota in every way. Are they your favorite to win it all?
I guess at this point I would say yeah. I picked Seattle back in August to win the Super Bowl. That's not looking too good as we started taping the show.
New
But
Orleans, so.
yeah, San Francisco though yesterday the same thing, sort of similar to what Tennessee did. They dominated the line of scrimmage, 186 yards rushing. They got 6 sacks. They held Dalvin Cook to 10 yards rushing. Total domination, and they look like a team that, yes, is on their way to the Super Bowl without question. They have tremendous confidence. Kyle Shanahan has them dialed in, and Robert Saleh, with defensive coordinator, he's going to have a head coaching job at some point soon, I would hope, next year at the latest, because his defense is playing incredible. Yeah, they're clicking on all cylinders. That was a good Minnesota team, and they took them apart.
Darian, have you talked to Trey Waynes? Probably haven't after the game.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you? A little bit?
Yeah.
They got a postseason win. No one thought
postseason
they would win in New Orleans,
and bodies beat up. So, would love to play for Super Bowl, but also, had a great season.
Rico, the Niners are your adopted team, going back to Super Bowl 16.
We don't like to use adopted. They're just my team.
They're your team. Okay.
I don't like that word, adopted.
Take the Detroit Lions completely out of this equation.
They never were there. But go ahead.
Has any administrator done a better job than Niners president and GM John Lynch, who seems to make all the right moves, push every right button, and Kyle Shanahan? And if you look at what the Niners were just 1 year ago, picking second in the draft, they got those 4 letters, Bosa, standing there. And they didn't whiff on that. And look where they are now, the best record in the NFC and the best record of teams still standing.
No, I would say not too many teams can say that. Maybe Baltimore by taking Lamar Jackson, but everything the 49ers did has struck gold. John Lynch coming from the booth. We all know in Detroit what happened when you take a guy from the booth. It destroys your team. Wrong. He goes in there. He makes the right decision. He goes to get Garoppolo. They're bad. Okay, let's just be bad and let's get a draft pick out of this thing. Instead of like when you see the Lions out there trying to, we're going to improve we want to win. We don't care about next year. They cared about next year. They cared about down the line, and they built that team off of a lot of top 5 picks on that defense. That's what you do. You get much talent on the defense, and then you scheme the offense. And as you're seeing, like yesterday, who'd have thought that Garoppolo finished with 131 total yards passing, but they utterly destroyed Minnesota. They ran the ball. They just used what they had to do.
Last year's injury to Garoppolo turned out to be fortuitous, though, because they wouldn't have been 4-12 if he'd been healthy all year.
But they took that advantage.
They did.
And
They
got
took
most
advantage of it.
Kirk Cousins got his win, won. How will this postseason be remembered for him and the Vikings?
Unfortunately, you're only as good as your last game. So I think that they remember that a little bit more, although he did get over that hump against the Saints. But
we will be back with our final segment, our Cool and Smooth weekly awards brought to you by Culver's. Coming up next here on Press Pass.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Jason Biggs and Maggie Lawson are outmatched. Premieres January 23rd on Fox.
Hi, I'm Deb Hart.
And I'm Bob Hoffman.
Have you checked out Fox 47 Morning News?
Every weekday morning while Julie and Claire get you caught up on news and weather,
we catch up with some of the most interesting people in mid-Michigan on the Morning Blend.
It's your chance to find out what's happening in your own backyard and have a little fun along the way.
Local news, local weather, local people.
Weekdays, 7 to 9 a.m.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious.
Mays has it, does not have a basket in the second half for LSU. Good if it's
Gerard was denied. Boeheim at half court with 2. Oh! Hey, got it! You've got to be joking!
We show you a couple of buzzer beaters. There you see Skylar Mays. Remember him last year when LSU played Michigan State?
Oh, yeah.
In the NCAA tournament, and LSU, believe it or not, is tied for first in the SEC. And Jackson Thomas, Buddy Boeheim, coach's son. Jim Boeheim is 75, and his kid is playing for him. And he hits that shot. Syracuse hasn't done much right, but a big win yesterday for the Orange. All right, Team 329, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week. Rico Beard, what about our play of the week?
Play of the week, I'm going to go to the NFL. I thought about going with the 4th down play that Houston could have gone for, and they decided to kick the field goal. But instead, I'm going to kind of do a co-play. Go with me on this. We kind of talked about it.
Okay.
Third quarter yesterday with the Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry puts the game away. It's 14-6.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're playing around with Lamar. That's one scramble and one 2-point conversion. 66-yard run. Yeah. He's going down the field, and it just watching him running upright like he's a track star. A few plays later, he throws the jump pass for the touchdown.
Yeah.
That sealed it to me. At that point, I'm like, oh, my goodness, Tennessee's going to win this game.
Yeah.
And that was all Derrick Henry. That run was all – they couldn't stop him. He just blew past everybody. You saw SEC speed in that run.
He didn't gain 100 yards against you guys. They got you a couple other ways, though.
Yeah, this is true.
All right, Darian, what about our game of the week? What do you have?
Game of the week, I think I have to go with the Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs coming back in a fashion that I don't think I've ever seen maybe in a football game. I mean, it's the power of Pat Mahomes, it's the power of Andy Reid. But if you're the Houston Texans, you're up 21-0, as Rico said, just go for it on 4th down. But then Bill O'Brien inexplicably goes for a fake punt, and then it's just all downhill from them. I mean, momentum is a crazy thing in sports, especially football. And for Kansas City to come back like that, I mean, it's unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like that before.
I wonder about the in-game betting on that one, Doug. You think in Vegas,
Yeah.
People coming up to the window and they want to...
I did see one report. I saw somebody that put like $22,000 down on the Texans to win. It would have netted them like $5,000. And obviously that did not happen for them.
Yeah.
When they were up 21-0, put that bet down.
Wow.
Didn't work for them. Lost $22,000.
Doug Warren, what do you have for team of the week?
It can't be anybody other than the Tennessee Titans, pulling off that monster win yesterday and doing it in the way that they only know how, dominating on the line of scrimmage. Derrick Henry, 195 yards, a touchdown pass. Ryan Tannehill only throws for 88 yards, but 2 of his 7 completions were for touchdowns. He had another touchdown run on top of that, too. So, yeah, maximizing what they do best, and they're my team of the week.
You know who blocked very well yesterday? Number 78.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Conklin.
Played tremendous.
Clearing holes. All right. For our player of the week, not a player, but a very, very important person. Talking about Bart Wojcicki, principal at Hazlitt High School and college basketball official. Rico, I know you've seen him at Breslin, the twins,
Right.
Bart and Brett. Diagnosed, and this happened fast, less than a week. Pancreatic cancer, gone. He will be missed so much in the Hazlitt community. Everyone is in shock there today, and he will be missed in officiating circles as well. I want to thank Team 329, Doug Warren, producer of The Drive with Jack, director, Spotlight Radio Network, Sports Department, Rico Beard. You can hear him on the Spartan Beat. And Darian Harris, Wall Lake Western assistant football coach. Another Western guy going to the pros. We'll be back next week, everyone. Have a great night.